Hey guys, what's going on? Vic here, back with you again. Welcome back to Wisdom Wednesday. This is million dollar idea number 5. I don't know how to say that in Spanish. But glad to be back with you again here. Last week I was on the road traveling. I was literally sleeping like 2 hours a night, for the last week, just working on stuff and doing some things here in the background. But, glad to be back with you again here today for another episode of Million Dollar Idea. If you're here for the first time, if somehow you stumble upon my blog or somebody referred you or somebody shared the link with you or whatever, welcome. All we do here is just talk about ideas that hopefully can make a big difference for you in your business. I got started 9 years ago, maybe over 9 years ago in this industry, and the ride has been absolutely awesome. It wasn't smooth all the time, and I had my rough moments in the beginning, obviously like everybody, but I've learned some things, and so one of the things that I wanted to do for my followers, for you guys who are coming back to watch these episodes, is share ideas and talk about stuff that's relevant to what you're doing, stuff that can actually help you in your business, ideas that can take your business to a whole new level. I'm a big believer that you need one idea to make $1 million. You don't need a lot. You don't need to get bombarded with different streams of information all the time. You need one solid idea that you can act upon in your business. That idea can take your business to a whole new level. It worked for me. It's been proven over and over and over again. So I just want to be the guy who hopefully can contribute some value to your life, to your business, in turn, who knows what's going to happen, right? Maybe you implement some ideas and some strategies and you impact millions of other people's lives. That would be a cool thing. All right, so listen, today I wanted to talk to you about this topic I think you will really like. As a marketer, I don't know what, depending on what you're marketing, maybe you're promoting affiliate stuff, maybe you're into, multi-level marketing, network marketing, whatever your thing is, right? How to become a marketing machine. You want to talk about that? All right. I think it would be appropriate. How to become a marketing machine. And of course, when I say marketing machine, I don't mean like a machine. I'm talking about how to become. If you're in affiliate marketing, like if you're promoting other people's products as an affiliate, how do you become a super affiliate? Have you ever thought about that? Like, what do you really need to focus on? What are some areas that you need to really master, right, to become a super affiliate and just literally crush it? Not just an average somebody, not just an average affiliate, right? But how do you raise yourself like head and shoulders above everybody else out there? How do you do that? There's actually a way to do that. Okay, it's not very complicated. I'm going to talk about that in this episode for you. If you're in network marketing, right? If you're a network marketer, if you're building a team, if you're selling, promoting an opportunity, whatever your thing is, whatever your niche is, whatever company it's relevant, all right? How do you become the top guy or the top girl, right? How do you become the top producer in whatever you're doing, okay? Have you ever wondered that? See, most people I think, they're just kind of like going with the flow and they're trying to make it and they're just grinding and they're listening to all this information come into their heads and they're like, oh my goodness, I can't figure this out. There's so much stuff going on. I need a simple, how do I just make a little bit of money here, right? I'm going to challenge you to stop thinking about like making a little bit of money. I want to challenge you to start thinking about how do I become the guy? How do I become the girl? How do I become a person that's going to dominate whatever niche that you're in? All right? It's possible, okay? It's possible. See, when you start thinking at that level, what you do is you're going to start simplifying things. You're going to start ignoring a lot of information that's irrelevant, right? And you're going to move forward so much quicker and so much faster. So I want to talk to you about how do you become a marketing machine? How do you become the top income earner, the top producer? How do you become the super affiliate if that's your thing? All right. There is two main key areas. There is two distinct areas that you need to really master. Just two, not like 50, 100, just two. All right, and if you can master those two areas, I'm going to tell you what they are. I'm going to give you a little bit more information, a little bit, some ideas. Again, this will be a $1 million idea for you in this episode. So I hope you listen to it. Let me know what you think about this. I would really like to know, what your goals are and what you're shooting for, just let me know in the comments below. This is a community, right? I'm doing this for you. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm really doing this for you as my followers, my subscribers, somebody who comes back to check out these videos. Appreciate that. Hopefully I can contribute some value for you. Before we talk about that though, here's the thing. I want to, maybe I'm weird, but my thing is this, is anytime when I set myself a big goal, okay, anytime when I want to do something giant, something big, something I haven't really done before, like for example, how to become a super affiliate, right? How to become a marketing machine. When you set that as your goal, as your target, it's something you shoot for, okay? We need support. We need like these legs to the stool that would support our decision. Okay. So for me, it's why do you want that? Why do you want to be, a super affiliate versus just a regular affiliate, right? I mean, really, why do you want to be that? Why do you want to be a top producer, right, making a lot of money, and being just very, very influential out there versus just being somebody who makes okay kind of money, still, maybe gets you by, right? Still provides you, a decent lifestyle and keeps you comfortable. But why do you want to be the like in the top 1% or in the top 1/2 of 1%? Like, why, right? And I think if we have a compelling why for doing that personally, I think it will be easier for us to stick through the struggles and the learning curve and everything else that we're going to acquire along the way. Does that make sense? Okay, so I think before we talk about these two distinct areas we need to focus on, I think let's identify and just kind of set ourselves, let's just kind of brainstorm some ideas of maybe, why would we want to do that, right? Why would we want to become a super affiliate or shoot to become a super affiliate? See, this is the thing. My mind thinks faster than my mouth can speak. So sometimes I might say things that doesn't make sense. So forgive me. All right. So let's identify. Like when I think about why would I want to be a super affiliate? Okay. Some things comes to my mind are independence. Right. Independence. All right. What else? What else comes to your mind? Like if I become this marketing machine, let's just refer to this stuff as like marketing machine, right? When I become this marketing machine, for lack of a better word, I will be independent, wouldn't I? Right? Like I don't have to depend on anybody else. Okay? Cool. What else is it going to give me? What else is going to be very like? What else that's going to pull me to becoming that, right? Well, the thing comes to my mind is, confidence, right? I mean, I would be more confident, wouldn't I? Okay? When you're more confident, life is just easier. It's just easier to be around people. It's easier to run your business. It's easier to do stuff, right? When you have confidence. A lot of people lack confidence, and we're going to talk about how do you actually build confidence, right? Naturally, by default. Okay, it's actually a lot easier and simpler than most people think. What else comes to your mind? Well, what comes to my mind is total control. All right. I mean, the thing is if you're just a regular affiliate, if you're just a regular guy or gal out there, just an average producer, just an average, somebody who's trying to build your business, you don't really have total control. I mean, a lot of times those guys, they depend on some sort of a system. They depend on some sort of somebody to always show them the way, to always tell them what to do. And really, they don't have full control of their life, right? So therefore, they don't have freedom. Okay? I mean, a lot of people talk about having freedom and building and starting this business, internet marketing, online business, to really have freedom. Financial freedom, time freedom, and everything else that comes with it, right? Unfortunately, so many of those people, because they don't have the confidence, they don't have true full control, okay? A lot of times they're just fooling themselves, thinking that they have this freedom, which they don't, okay? As soon as whichever their sponsor quits or starts doing something else, all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, I am like in the air with no parachute, right? Just jumped out of the plane. You don't want to be in that position. Okay. What else? What else is? What else would there be that would pull me towards you know, setting that goal and really sticking through that to becoming this marketing machine? Well, how about influence, right? Do you want to be able to influence more people in your niche? Do you want to be able to be this person that can move a lot of people, right? If you want to do a webinar, if you want to do, you know, a teleconference, you know, do you want to be the person who will be able to, you know, put on and bring 2,000 people or 3,000 people onto a conference call, right? Would that be awesome, right? Do you want to be the person who can influence the masses in this industry? That would be awesome, wouldn't it, right? Well, maybe that's not your thing. Maybe it is. I don't know. What else? What else? Well, maybe it's the status for you, you know? For me, it's not so much for the status. I mean, I could care less about, you know, the status of being somebody in the industry, right? For me, I mean, my thing is influencing people, right, and making a difference. Some people, though, status is a big thing for them. You know, some people, they want to have this status. You know what? I'm a super affiliate. I'm a top producer. Well, that's a cool thing. You know, that's your thing. That's a cool, right? That's a cool thing. So, you know, what else? What else? Do you think of anything else? Post it in the comments if I missed it, right? Of course, we all want to have a lifestyle, right? All right, and what I mean by lifestyle is I mean like really cool, awesome lifestyle, right? So maybe these are some things that you will identify with, that will pull you, right, towards achieving that goal, right? Of, you know what, I'm just going to just resolve to becoming this marketing machine, right? So there's two distinct areas that I think that we need to focus on, okay? Just two. Area number one, maybe we can do it like this, right? I mean, everything else, there is so much noise in the industry, my friend. There is so much noise, okay? There's systems launching, there is products launching, there is software, there is new gadgets, new widgets, you name it, they got it, and they all want to sell it to you, okay? I think what we need to do as a marketer, if you want to have all these things, and it's possible, okay? I want you to just banish the thought of you know, this is not possible for you. I don't care where you're starting from. It doesn't matter what your experience has been. It doesn't matter. Listen, you might be here for the first time and maybe this is your first day online. I'm telling you, this stuff is possible. You can take yourself from where you are to levels that most people will think that, you know what, it's just impossible, and you're like, you know, you're the person with magical abilities, right? And the reason I'm telling you all this is because I'm a living proof, okay? Most of you guys know my story. Most of you guys, you know where I came from, right? Started out at zero, went into tremendous debt. I just basically, you know, jumped out of the plane, you know, metaphorically speaking, with no parachute, right? I quit my job. I borrowed, you know, a lot of money to get started in this industry. This was back 9 years ago, and invested, you know, most of that money. I mean, I borrowed $30,000, invested $20,000. 60 days later, made $0, not a single sale. Okay, and had to learn it the hard way. And I was not working. My wife was not working. There was no going back. There was no plan B. There was either do it, or basically, you know, it's do or die. I mean, for a lack of a better way to put it, right? The reason I was able to do this is because I was a good student and I was applying what I was learning, okay? And I want to pass this on to you. So over the 9 years that I have been doing this, I have seen everything that we do as marketers, everything that we do as entrepreneurs, okay, comes down to two things. Everybody talks about this, but really it all comes down to two things, okay? Thing number one is marketing. Okay. Thing number two is conversions. Okay. Now, we talk about like confidence and total control and lifestyle and status and influence and all this stuff that, you know, a lot of people are after, right? Cool stuff. What does that have to do with marketing, really? Listen, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're selling pens, markers, if you're selling opportunities, if you're selling info products, if you're selling CPA stuff, right, promoting your CPA products, I don't care what you're doing out there. You need to know marketing and you need to know conversions. Now let's talk about these two areas. Okay, I think this will give you a lot more clarity on some things and hopefully help you out a lot. And then we're going to go and talk into more details about each of these areas as we progress into the future together. All right. So marketing, there's a couple things I want to talk to you about that. Okay. As a marketer, you may want to write this down because so many people don't understand this and miss this. Okay. And I'm telling you, if you get this, those people who get this, they never, ever, ever have to depend on anybody, and they have a lot of this stuff that we've been talking about earlier. Okay? Thing number one in marketing you need to understand, okay, is as a marketer, you never depend on. So basically, you want to have multiple multi-streams of traffic. Okay? You want to have multiple streams of traffic. You heard the saying, some people say multiple streams of income. That's a cool thing, Can be, if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, if you get overwhelmed, that's actually a bad thing. But multiple streams of traffic is the number one rule in business for online entrepreneurs. The number one rule, okay? If you only depend on one source of traffic, you're screwed, okay? So always have multiple sources of traffic. Rule number two is never, that kind of goes together with rule number one, never depend on one traffic source. Okay? For those of you guys who have been online for longer than a few years, you remember Google Slaps. Okay? And if a lot of people had that as their backbone for marketing, right? They were just advertising on Google, which everything was going great. I mean, it was like virtual like printing money. Okay, I was one of those guys. And it was super easy to get lots of traffic from Google, okay? Google AdWords. But one day, we just woke up, and all of a sudden, our accounts are banned. I mean, not banned, but like, I used to pay, give you an example, I used to pay like 80 cents per click with Google AdWords, right? This was several years ago. And then all of a sudden I wake up the next morning and my bid is like $10 per click, okay? That kind of difference. And obviously when that happens, your business is, you have to stop your campaigns because you cannot afford to pay $10 per click on Google AdWords because you're going to be losing money, right? You're not going to be profitable. Never depend on one traffic source, okay? There is something that's really hot right now. Today, as I'm shooting this video, is Facebook. Okay, Facebook is pretty hot. Okay, Facebook advertising is awesome, and there is courses on Facebook and everything like that, right? Which is great. Okay, but I'm telling you, there will be a day, there will come a day, probably very soon, to where Facebook is going to have some sort of a Facebook slap, right? Or maybe something else that's going to just filter out and just cause so many marketers to fade away because they won't be able to run with their new algorithm. Okay, and if that's your thing, your business is, you don't have a business. Okay, so never depend on one traffic source or one traffic stream. Okay, in your business, you want to have multiples. Okay, that's why, if you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 different traffic sources coming in, we're going to talk about all that stuff. I'll give you some really awesome training if you want to know all this stuff in more detail a little bit later on. Okay, that's that. Rule number 3 is this: never outsource your marketing. Okay, my handwriting is horrible. I apologize for that. But nonetheless, never outsource your marketing is rule number 3 in the marketing category. Okay, guys, I know it's simple. I know it's, you're like, okay, what's the big deal? What's the big deal about that? Let me tell you, if you outsource your marketing, you have no control, and you don't know what's going on in your marketing. If you cannot control if you cannot control your cash outgoing, your outgoing cash, right? If you cannot control where your money goes and what it goes for, right? If you have no idea what somebody is doing, or you know, I'll give you an example. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're like, well, I just hired this guy who, you know, he does my PPC for me, right? He just takes care of my PPC. I don't have to do anything. I'm just making money. His mindset is, you know what, somebody else is going to do it for me, so therefore he will never take the time to learn, so therefore he will never be independent, right? Therefore he will never have total control of his business. He will never have the confidence, okay, to do what he wants to do. He will never really have freedom, and all this stuff is not going to be there. You cannot influence somebody if you have somebody else, you know, somebody else running your business, if you have somebody else running your marketing and in charge of your marketing, right, and you don't know what's going on there, right? You just trust somebody to do it and you hope they do it right. You cannot influence people. You cannot teach somebody that you don't know how to do, right? If you're in info marketer, if your thing is, you know what, you're building your business, you're building a team, right? You're building a downline. Maybe you're trying to, you know, grow your marketing, your network marketing team, or whatever else you're doing, right? And you are teaching and training people. You've got to be out there in the trenches doing stuff. All right, if you want to have influence, if you want to have true influence, positive influence, okay? So 3 rules of marketing, okay? Rules of conversion. So marketing is we are getting our business in front of people. That's the number one thing, right? One of the 2 things that we need to focus on in business, okay? Everything else is going to fall into one of these 2 categories, okay? And you will see. So now that we have multiple streams of traffic, now that we never depend on any one single traffic source, we don't outsource our marketing, we do it ourselves, we really master it, right? And like, if you're freaking out, Vic, how do I do that stuff? Don't worry, we're going to talk about it, okay? I want you to look at this as a big picture and see what's going on, okay? But I'm telling you, this, as simple as it looks, okay, most people fail because they never take the time to not only like master it, but they don't take the time to say, you know what, I'm just going to resolve to really mastering this thing, okay? This is going to be one of those things, like, I'm going to study this like there is no tomorrow and really get it down, because when you have this down, you have more traffic, you have more people coming in to see your business, to see your website, that you know what to do with, okay? Now, what we need to do then is we focus on this area. Okay, and these 2 have to work. This has to work in balance. Okay, these work simultaneously, but you need to understand both. Okay, if you want to have all this stuff right here. Okay, so let's talk about conversions. A lot of people come to me and they say, Vic, I need to get better conversions. I need to make more, turn more traffic into leads, more leads into sales. How do I do that? Right? Well, conversions. There is 3. There is 3 rules, or 3 categories, or 3 areas that we need to focus on if we want to have high conversions in our business. Okay, I'm talking about throughout. Okay, leads or traffic to leads, and then leads to sales. Okay. Number 1 is something I call the invisible factor. Okay. All right, we're going to talk about this a little bit later. I guess I keep telling you, we're going to talk about this. I don't even know if you want to talk about this. So if you would, let me know in the comments below this video if you want me to go into like really great details about this stuff right here, and just really dive into it like on a deep level, and and bring that information to you for free. I'm kind of intending on doing that, but I want to know what kind of response I get from you guys watching this. I want to see if this is making sense, if you really want me to dig into it. The invisible. Almost nobody's talking about this, okay? Why is that some people, right, some marketers, very few marketers, they seem to convert, they seem to have extremely high conversions, while most marketers, like majority, okay, 98, 99%, they're hit and miss. They're they don't know, like they cannot predict. They don't have total control. They don't have the confidence that, their campaigns are going to do well. They don't have the true independence, right? Why is that? Because they don't understand the first rule in conversions, which is the invisible stuff. What I'm going to do is put it like this. there is your campaigns, there is traffic, there is you, okay? And then there is the stuff that you don't see in the business. Like when I look at the magnet, okay? If I was to pick up a magnet, I don't have it here with me. I should have probably brought it just to demonstration purposes or something, But when we look at the magnet, this black piece of just something, right? And we just look at it for just like a thing. We're like, okay, so what's the big deal about it, right? It's just a black thing. Now, when we put that magnet to a metal, boom, it sticks, right? It's the invisible that you cannot see that makes it work. Does that make sense? So if I hold this up to a metal, right, like a board or something, right, it's not going to stick. I mean, it's still, it's a thing, but when we have a magnet, right, it can be this shape. It can even be this color. It can be even, it can even be painted the same as this marker right here, okay? But one could be a marker and one could be identical, but it could be a magnet, all right, made to look like marker, okay? And if a magnet, if I put it to the board, it would stick, wouldn't it, right? What's the difference here, you see? Well, the difference is the invisible, okay? What I'm talking about here now, my friend, I'm talking about stuff that most marketers don't teach because they have no clue. They're clueless, okay? Most people you talk to, most products you purchase, okay, they're clueless. They don't know how to, they have no idea how this stuff works. But there is a way as a marketer for you to develop your magnetic personality in everything you do, okay, and for you to become that magnet, okay? We're going to talk about that. If you want, let me know what you think, okay? If this is something you really want, I mean, this is like really, really, really advanced type stuff. And when you get this, man, I mean, this stuff becomes like just natural. I mean, this like, unconscious competence, all right? You just don't think about it and it just happens. I mean, things just happen for you, okay? There's a saying that, somebody is like, people talk about some people that like, everything she touches turns to gold, everything he touches turns to gold, right? Well, the person who can, quote unquote, turn things to gold, right? They have something that's invisible that other people cannot see, but they can see the result of it, okay? So that's thing number one. Thing number two is, rule number one is, and rule number two is, psychology and persuasion. Okay, most marketers, especially in the affiliate world, especially in the network marketing. Network marketing is a little bit better about this type of stuff, but still they're at the very elementary level, right? When it comes to psychology and persuasion. But I'm telling you, when you master this side, right? When you're mastering multiple streams of traffic, you have, you're really out there actually doing it yourself. You understand how to do it anytime you want, any day you want, any quality, any quantity you want, right? You know how to do this stuff. And you have to understand this because you apply certain psychology and persuasion tactics and techniques and strategies in your marketing, boom, this stuff starts to happen. Make sense? Okay? So that's that. And rule number three is something I call the SPA, okay? Which stands for Strategic Plan of Action. All right? Strategic Plan of Action. Again, this is very advanced type stuff, and most marketers don't talk about this, but most marketers, what I see is they're just like, they're trying to compete with their competition. They're trying to compete with other affiliates, right? And they're doing what everybody else is doing. They never think outside the box. They never stop and think, okay, how can I elevate myself head and shoulders above the rest of my competitors? All of that stuff is going to fall into one of these two categories, all right? And if you really take the time, you know what, you make a commitment, you make a conscious decision that, you know what, if marketing is your thing, if what you're doing is your long-term vision and goal and that's what you want to do, then I say become really, really, really good at your craft. Become the master in your craft. Don't settle for being just an average guy or an average girl. Don't settle for being just like another marketer. Okay, I'm telling you, resolve to learning these two things. Not only learning, but mastering, so that, you know what, like when I understood these principles, when I was coached by somebody who really understands their stuff, right, back 9 years ago. And then I consciously decided, you know what, I said, I'm going to become the best, not just good, not just great, I'm literally going to become the best marketer that's out there. I'm going to learn whatever I need to learn. I resolved. See, there is a decision and there is a resolve, okay? And I'm going to ask you, which side are you on? Okay, decision is powerful, resolve is even more powerful, okay? When you resolve to something, you know what? There is no going back, there is no plan B, there is no plan C, there is no something else or something else. You are building your empire. You're not building anybody else's company. You're not promoting your network marketing deal to build that company. You are building your brand. All right? When you resolve to something, my friend, and as a marketer, when you resolve to mastering marketing and the 3 laws of marketing, and then resolve to mastering conversions and the 3 laws, this stuff right here, listen, you can take yourself from wherever you are, whatever deal you're in right now, right? And you can join any other company, you can start doing anything else you want to do out there, and you can crush it, literally crush it, because you understand this stuff. Okay? Again, my friend, I did not mean to confuse you. If I did, I apologize. This is advanced material, as you can probably see. If you want me to go into a lot of details on this stuff right over here and really break it down for you and really show you how to do, you know, really dive into the 3 laws of marketing and conversions and really, you know, do it on a lot more detailed level, let me know in the comments. And if I have a lot of requests for that, we'll take the time and we'll go through this over the next several weeks or whatever. Okay? So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. This is 2 distinct areas you need to focus on becoming a marketing machine, and you can crush it every time. I'll see you next time. God bless.